I didn't feel good about it, but what's done is done. And now I'm lying bleeding on the floor. I put a bullet in his head. There was no hesitation, but you made it easy when you strapped his body to a chair. So say goodbye to everything you ever knew before, and I'd understand if you went running out the door. And I'll keep you safe, and no harm will ever come to you, I swear. And I'll kill if they even dare. I'll kill, I swear.
I just happened to notice that you're sitting straight across from me. Hi.
I'm almost catty corner.
Kind of at an angle.
All I can
angle.
see is smoke in the room.
Yeah, and beautiful sunshine
It's
outside.
like Cheech and Chong in here.
Yeah, it's like a
beautiful
smoking.
thing about Jeters.
Yeah,
2 gram
except it gets me to
Jeters.
giggling, even though I didn't even smoke any of that shit.
Giggling.
Welcome to Michigan Murders and Music, where we discuss murders in our gorgeous state and top it off with a little homegrown music, leaving you with a happy ending and on a good note.
You love those good notes.
I do.
We just listen to loads of good notes.
Thank you for allowing us to seep into your ears.
Would you like a Michigan Murders and Music sticker?
Yes.
If you would, email us and let us know. Our email is available on the website that I have slowly been redesigning, and I think it actually works. I think
What? That is not possible.
it works. I added a recommended reading area.
She had me try it out, and it works.
I
It
added
works.
some merch pictures that will lead you to our store. Yeah, so if you want a sticker, send us your email or your address in our email. We'll stuff a sticker up your
into an
in your-
envelope
and
mail it to you.
explicit content warning time.
Yes, before you say something you should not say. Her Highness will say things that are offensive to a lot of people. Inappropriate
Democrat,
for
Republican?
our younger listeners.
I'm just kidding.
So please remove the youngsters from your listening area. And
Why? Your youngster shouldn't be in your listening area, all up in your grill like that.
no,
Like,
they shouldn't.
Give yourself some space.
Mhm.
Let yourself have some time away from your youngsters.
Your
I
Highness,
do. Yes, Boot.
I saw a robin today.
Shut the front door.
I know. It's not possible. It's January 26th.
The world is fucked up. It snowed in Florida, like more snow than we have on our ground.
The robins
in
don't know
Grand
where to
Rapids, Michigan, right now. They're confused.
go. Mhm.
They're like, Florida's snow. We got to leave, go back home to Michigan. And they're like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
There's still snow in Michigan.
Mhm.
So what happens with that robin?
Well, he's hanging out with about
Your explicit
6.
content warnings are getting shitty.
See, that's why I give an explicit content warning, because Her Highness will say things that are offensive, even to me. God, Dick,
Did you
just
God,
go
Dick?
go in the other room. I can do this without you.
You do this. We would like to keep you cock. I almost had it. We would like to keep our podcast commercial free and independent. So if you are feeling a little tipsy, you can check out our website, or you can look below in the description and tip us.
Do us a favor and share us with a friend, and follow us on all of the
There's
places.
not very many places anymore.
Instagram, Facebook.
God.
You can find us on YouTube.
No, I quit doing that.
Oh my God, really? Why?
Oh my God, because I can barely fucking record every week.
Okay.
And research all the stories in one
Fair
week
enough.
time. What do you,
Don't
what
go
do
to
you do?
YouTube.
Excuse me.
I
sir?
masturbate all day
Yeah,
long.
that's what I thought. What,
All day long.
do you type this
No.
with no H's?
How can I do
That's
that
what
without...
I thought.
I've got my hands full. This week we are featuring a band called Antighost.
Boot. Hey, Boot, where are we road tripping?
What?
to? Where are we road tripping? Where are we going to today?
Today we are road tripping to a city called Niles.
Isn't that where we went last week?
Yeah.
Who writes these stories?
I
Who
don't-
decides what story to
I don't
fucking
know.
do?
Apparently
You guys-
there are issues in that area.
If I was a better podcaster, I would plan things better, more appropriately. but you're stuck with me. And sorry,
Yeah,
that's
so am
what
I.
you get. So
God
Niles is
damn.
over in the thumb of our mitten.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go, Boo. Go. You can do it. Are you
Today,
high?
we are featuring a criminal named Robert Eugene Leamon the Third, MDOC 254637. You can look that up if you want to. And date of birth is 11/7/1976.
Robert Lemon, Leamon, Laidman, was raised in Niles, Michigan.
His parents were Robert II and Kathy Leamon.
As a child, Robert had a few troubles here and there.
He avoided groups of people. He preferred to be alone and had sleep disruption problems. God, that sounds
God, don't we all have fucking sleep disruption problems?
And I like to be by myself.
Right? And I like to avoid people. It's okay, kid. We understand where you're coming from. This may have been an underlying condition or a PTSD type thing from attending Small World.
At the time, psychology wasn't a big deal, so his mom just didn't really get him help. I think they just didn't know better.
Kind of what it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
In the 70s, they were like, oh my God, he's not doing okay. We better take him for counseling.
No.
They were like, go fucking outside. Play with the chickens or something, kid.
Robert would later attend Brandywine High School in Niles.
He didn't have the best academic life, but he was a football player, so he didn't have to.
Oh, that's cool.
They always stretch the rules for football players.
If they're good.
Yeah.
He had good parents, although they were divorcing, and drove a nice blue truck. His life was going pretty good.
Your dad driving a nice blue truck. Robert, 16 years old, worked at Martin Tire Company as a part of the school's co-op program. Did your school have a co-op program?
I think so.
Ours did.
Well,
we had what was that one for builders? Like
it
Builders
was
Rec or
kinda,
something like that.
It's kind of the Kent Skills thing.
Yeah, we had that,
Okay.
but it was actually like a class at our high school. And then we also had I actually worked in a office and I got like a high school credit. So it's kind of cool. I don't know if they have that shit anymore because I don't care.
Being in the jock category put him in the popular tier of the high school hierarchy.
Oh, how that goddamn hierarchy never fucking changes.
Doesn't it?
It doesn't ever. It's still Breakfast Club,
No.
basically.
That
It's still
was kind of
fucking Breakfast
adorable.
Club. It is adorable, and the movie will never get old because it's always going to fucking be that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Despite that, he did have a few special education classes, and apparently the football team did not tease him about that.
During the summer of 1993, Robert started hanging out with a classmate.
Oh, her name is Becky Stowe, and she was just 15 years old. They both attended Brandywine High, and she was a year under Robert in school.
The two of them started hanging out a lot that summer, and Becky considered Robert her boyfriend.
You know.
Uh-oh.
You know how it is when you're 15.
Mm-hmm. The
You're
love of her
hanging
life.
out together. Oh, the days.
She shared stories about her new crush with her friends.
Of course she did. Why would you not? Becky was in a total different social tier than Robert was. She was labeled to be a bit more of a rebel.
Oh, kind of like you.
I like Becky.
The two of them made an odd couple, but it seemed to work.
At the time, Becky was living with her mom, Diane, and her stepfather, Steve.
Steve. It's a good, strong name.
Steven.
The family was mostly good. There were issues with Steve as the stepdad.
You know,
Yes.
there's a stepdad, or anytime there's a step anything
You're
in the
not my
house,
dad.
it's not going to work. Yeah, he would discipline her, and he would get the old, "Well, you're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do." Slam, door, leave. You know.
All of that is rather normal. Nothing you would see as odd.
No. In early July, though, Steve and Becky were at odds a bit more than normal.
Becky asked if she could just go stay with her friend Jacqueline for a few days and get away and let the two of them calm down.
I'm just going to go. Steve's being a dick.
Her mom agreed.
Steve's being a dick. And I want to get out of here. Going to my friend's house.
Hell yeah.
Goodbye. On Tuesday, July 13th, 1993, Jacqueline and her boyfriend went for a walk, and Becky stayed at Jacqueline's house.
When the couple returned home, they found a note from Becky that just said, "Went to talk to Robbie."
The note was really cute because it was such a teenage thing. It said went, and then she put the number 2
Oh,
talk, and then the number 2 Robbie. It's so cute. Later that day, Jacqueline receives a call from Robert, and he is asking Jacqueline if she knows where Becky is.
Of course, she doesn't know Becky is supposed to be with him, Robert.
Yeah, Robert simply tells her that Becky never showed up, and he's looking for her.
Jacqueline and Todd, her boyfriend, discover that Becky left all of her proppers, her purse, her cigarettes, and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it didn't really seem like she would have gone very far without all of her things.
Mm-hmm.
It's now Wednesday, and at this point, Jacqueline's mom had not laid eyes on Becky since Monday night, and she calls Becky's mom and tells her, "I haven't seen Becky."
Diane calls the police and reported Becky missing.
The news ran with the story the very next day.
Diane handed over the note from Becky to police, and they went to talk to Robert immediately.
Yeah, he's the last person that, the note said, going to see Robert.
Robbie.
Robert said he never saw Becky that night. His alibi was that he worked, and then he went hunting with his cousin.
He did admit to having had sex with her a few times.
Bow, chicka, wow,
Whoa.
wow. Robert even took a polygraph test, and he passed it.
He also duped 3 to 4 investigators.
Jeff is questioned, and they don't really find out a ton from him, just details of that day.
When Jacqueline is questioned, they find out a lot more. She explains that Becky is pregnant with Robert's baby.
Oh, shit.
She helped Becky buy the test, and they did it together.
Yeah, in a Burger King bathroom.
Oh, isn't that fun?
That's
So
what kids
cleanly.
do. All she had to do was pee on a stick. The investigation continues, and one of the next suspects is going to be Steve, the stepdad.
After all, Becky was staying at Jacqueline's house because she wasn't getting along with Steve.
Steve gets loads of pressure from the police, and he actually refuses to take the polygraph test.
Steve has not gone to work that day, and I don't believe that he had an alibi of any sort.
It's not looking good for stepdad Steve.
When people of the area heard that, they really had suspicions that Steve was the one who took Becky.
Oh, you never get out from under that either. Meanwhile, Diane is doing everything possible to find her daughter.
They're making flyers and passing them out, hanging them on telephone poles. She calls the police department every single day for updates.
I would probably be that way. Well, I'd
Of
probably be
course.
a little annoying, but what are you going to do? Search teams were put together to hunt through the difficult Michigan terrains to look for Becky.
Only one day did Robert help pass out flyers in Niles.
And he didn't help search at all.
Why would he? He's a
Other
douche.
than that, he stayed away from her family and he never talked to them. There was even a point where Becky's mom drove by and he was out washing his little truck, his little blue truck. And
Wasn't it beautiful?
She waved at him because
What do you
at
do?
that point she didn't really suspect him. And he just looked away from her.
None of the searches helped to find Becky.
3 months after the public hanging of Steve, Diane came home to an empty house. He just moved. He couldn't handle it anymore.
After 12 years of marriage.
He bailed.
Suspicion was on Steve. It all looked pretty bad. They had no proof, though.
The investigators continued to follow up leads and kept the investigation open, but there wasn't much going on.
June of 1995, Robert graduates from
You go, Robbie.
Brandywine High School.
Doesn't that make you think of the restaurant
Yeah,
that we
it's
have
the
here
old
in Grand
Brandywine.
Rapids?
Mm-hmm.
Is it still there?
I'm not sure.
After high school, he moves to Ohio to attend some sort of technical school.
He would return home to Niles on the weekends to be with family, friends, and his girlfriend, Angela.
Angela.
Oh, goodness.
Robert was dating Angela the school year before the summer of 93, and she went away for that summer, and then that's when him and Becky hooked up.
Oh, Angela and Robert would then get back together in January of 1994.
There was still no movement on the case, kind of like my bowels. It had basically gone cold.
Until October 4th, 1995, when Robert's girlfriend, Angela, told her parents an awful secret that she had been keeping for Robert.
Oh my God. Her parents did not hesitate, and they called the police right away.
When the police talked to Angela, she spilled everything that Robert had told her a year and a half earlier.
Dude, could you imagine holding a secret like that for a year and a half?
No, it's not okay.
Holy hell. So after she spilled her guts and told everything that Robert told her, she then told them where they could find Becky's body.
They went and they found Becky.
Yikes. Robert was arrested on October 5th, 1995, the very next day.
He gave up and confessed the information concerning the death of Becky.
Becky was pregnant, and Robert couldn't handle the shame.
Shame?
Yeah.
He couldn't handle the responsibility.
16.
When he got to the farm, he wrestled with her and snapped her neck.
Oh, that's what he told police. And then he placed her in a grave that he and his cousin conveniently dug the day before.
He covered her up and then put sticks on top and then stacked firewood on top of that.
Oh, my God. During the time that Robert was giving his statement to the officer, his dad comes busting into the police department, and he yelled, "Did you kill this girl?"
And he says, yes.
And Dad says, "Why?"
She was pregnant, and I didn't want to put the family through that.
So you put us through this?
What a
And then I'm pretty sure somebody
mindset.
probably scooped Dad out of the office
I
at
would
that
hope
moment
so.
and kept interviewing
Robert?
Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, his poor dad.
I know.
Dude, to find out,
Robert Eugene Leamon the Third would be charged with open murder, giving the judge the option to charge him with different verdicts as well.
Yeah, they can charge him with like first-degree murder, or I never realized that that's what open murder meant.
Yeah.
That it gives options to what the verdict will be.
During the trial, many people testified on Becky's behalf.
Angela, Robert's girlfriend, was the first to take the stand.
When the medical examiner took the stand to testify, we learned that Becky was most likely not dead when Robert placed her into the temporary grave.
So when he was confessing, he had told the cops that he heard her neck snap, and then she went limp. And what the medical examiner thought is that she probably just passed out, and he thought she was dead. So
Buried her alive.
yeah. Isn't that God fucking awful?
It's disturbing as hell.
Robert buried her alive that night on his relative's farm, and then he just went on with his life.
It was revealed that Robert had a coworker punch in for him that day, giving him his solid alibi.
How he passed the polygraph test, it's beyond me. I have no idea. Nobody passes a polygraph test.
The audio
They're
tape...
shady as fuck anyways, but still.
The audio tape of Robert's confession was played at the trial, and Becky's mom, Diane, had to hear every word.
You know, this is one of those things. I think that parents go through enough when they lose a child, and then they have to go to trial, and then they have to go through appeals, and then they have to go through sentencing and more appeals. I think that we should be able to give them a golden ticket, and after the first trial, they should be able to free themselves for the rest of their life, and they should never have to go back to the courtroom.
Oh.
And they should never feel guilty about not going back to that courtroom. Because they just keep getting dragged into it over and over and over and over again. It's not just the one trial ever. It's always, there's a hearing, evidential hearing, and then there's the trial, and then the dude gets sentenced, and then he gets put away for, he's in jail for 5 years, and then you hear, oh, he's appealing, so you got to go back again and do some more bullshit. It's fucking stupid. He's telling me to wrap up my rant. Wrapping it up.
Robert's mom, Kathy, also felt an extreme loss. They both lost their children that day.
Yeah, and they both had to listen to that audio tape. So Becky's mom is hearing this kid confess to the murder of her child, and Robert's mom is hearing her kid confess. It's awful all the way around. Remember how I said that Robert attended Small World when he was young?
His lawyers used a situation from the 1980s at the time when Robert attended Small World as his defense.
So this is a story of Small World, real quick like. The owner of Small World, Richard Barkman, was charged with attempted criminal sexual conduct with a child from the preschool.
Richard Barkman would spend 5 years in prison. They never connected Robert to any sexual abuse by Richard. Plus, his mom just never talked to him about it.
It was the 70s.
Yeah, you don't talk about
And
things.
he was little, like preschool kid. What are you going to say? Were you touched?
Where did hold the doll here? And it's like, where did he touch you? Here?
Hey, that's what we do. Don't tell our secrets.
We have things.
Where do you want me to touch you? After hearing all of the testimonies, the facts, and listening to lawyers go on for hours and hours, actually for 3 weeks straight, the jury finally went to deliberate.
It took them about 5.5 hours to decide Robert Eugene Leamon's
The third.
Leamon's the third's fate.
It's Leamon. We keep fucking with him, but it's Robert Eugene Leamon the Third.
On, whatever.
Fuck off.
On July 29th, 1990. Hey? On July 29th.
Wrong.
I'm going to give you a scab on the side of your nose.
Dude, can you read?
On June... God damn it.
Here comes the weed. We're almost there.
On June 29th, 1997, he was found guilty of first... I am very spittily.
Spittily.
On June 29th, 1997, he was found guilty of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison.
Unfortunately, in January of 2020, the family of Becky Stowe was put through it all again.
The Supreme Court made those damn changes regarding life sentences and
We've
juveniles.
Talked about these juvenile changes. Robert has been in jail for 23 years, and he is headed for a 2-day hearing regarding his new sentence.
During the hearing, Robert claimed he was ashamed and regretful, and he finally gave the Stowe family an apology, something he had not previously done.
He was resentenced to 25 to 60 years with the possibility of parole.
Parole he would receive after taking an anti-violence class. He did take the class and do a lot of good things in jail. He was a better prisoner than most.
On January 14, 2023, Robert Eugene Leamon III walked out of prison and remains a free man today.
The next time you see a green ribbon, think of Becky.
It's what her mom used to raise money for the searches and the flyers when she was missing.
It's adorable.
It's beautiful. Hey, Boo, who's our happy ending tonight?
Antighost are a high-energy emo grunge band based out of Detroit, Michigan. Antighost's upcoming album, All My Friends Dig Graves, will mark the band's boldest release to date. Praised for their live presence and lyrical content, Antighost continue to prove that if rock and roll is dead, its phantom is twice as loud.
It's kind of appropriate.
I like it.
The title of the album.
They dig graves?
My Friends Dig Graves.
Yeah.
The song name is Ugly Wounds. Here we go.
Thank you for choosing Michigan Murders and Music. Please rate the show wherever you listen. Michigan Murders and Music is produced by The Boots. Episodes are researched and written by Your Highness. Edited by Your Highness. Views and opinions are the sole stupidity of us and us alone. Don't blame others, please. Listening to this podcast could quite possibly cause major problems to your earballs and definitely will mess up your kids. Permission has been given to us by the bands, and we purchase our music on Bandcamp.com. Support your local music scene and all local music scenes.